Now, the coronavirus outbreak has been amazing for Ying Ying and Lily's relationship. Yeah, because with no one around, those two panda bears have started having more sex than Donald Trump whenever Melania's out of town. I'm joking, of course. He doesn't care if she's in town or not. But it turns out, for us human panda bears, the coronavirus hasn't been as beneficial for our love lives.
Business is booming right now for Eleanor Alter, a prominent divorce lawyer in the epicenter of the pandemic, New York City.
I'm seeing an uptick in calls.
People calling at all hours of the night seeking legal advice.
I'm getting a lot of calls about people who are in close quarters with a person that they were planning to divorce perhaps this year and it hasn't happened yet, wondering if they can go forward with a divorce during the pandemic.
Yeah, coronavirus is the worst thing to happen to marriages since the invention of the pool boy. Why always gotta be so sexy when you're raking those leaves in the pool boy? And getting divorced is already a stressful experience. But getting divorced when you can't leave, sweet Lord, that must be the worst. Just imagine, if you lived in like a New York City apartment, what do you do then? Huh? Okay, fine. You can have the bed and I'm gonna sleep in the microwave. So yeah, because of coronavirus, divorce lawyers are seeing more business than the guy selling glow sticks at Coachella. And if you're wondering, why is this happening? Well, it's because quarantine is showing a lot of couples that they might love each other, but they don't like each other.
When it comes to the quarantine, the biggest problem couples have is just the amount of pressure that the relationship is putting on each other. Think about it. Normally, you're around your partner 4, maybe 5 hours a day awake, but now that's tripled.
When we don't have as much distraction going on, we tend to hyper focus on certain things that the little things that bother us.
Part of the reason that could be 1 in 3 people surveyed say they do not shower or bathe every day anymore. Also, 15% of respondents say they do not get dressed out of their pajamas.
He wanders through the house and continues to talk to me when I'm on the phone. Can't be in your bathrobe. And those are the things, like the little things I have to be aware of because the camera really covers the whole space.
Oh man, I really feel bad for this woman. Think about it. Her husband is walking around in a bathrobe while she's trying to work over Skype. That is so embarrassing because that's her job. Like imagine if you were in your boss's office and then your spouse just walks in, shirtless, covered in Cheetos. Honey, do you have a towel? Excuse me, my boss is here. Can't you see? Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Boss, do you have a towel? The Cheetos, they get everywhere. Look at this. I see why people are getting tired of each other. Like just because you've committed your life to someone doesn't mean you want to be committed 24/7. In fact, after coronavirus ends, I think marriage vows need to be updated. Do you take this man to have and to hold, but for like an hour in the morning and then maybe 3 hours at night when you watch TV? Now, don't get it twisted. Coronavirus isn't breaking up every couple. There are many lovebirds out there who are taking the initiative and turning quarantine time into quality time.
You may be stuck at home, but that doesn't mean date night is canceled.
One couple used their free time to recreate the iconic final dance scene from the 1980s film Dirty Dancing.
The Jones family is used to being creative, turning famous paintings into their own works of art. Quarantine style, like American Gothic and Washington crossing the Delaware.
Grant recreated date nights around the house, a casino, sports bar, bowling with paper towel pins in their living room.
I think my favorite part of the date was the dance club, which was our bathroom, which when we went in there, he had music blaring and then he like turned the lights on and off.
Okay, now that guy deserves all the brownie points in the world. He made a full nightclub in his bathroom for his woman. Wow, that's love. And this thing was super realistic. He even charged her $18 for a vodka cranberry and then stole her purse when she got drunk. That is commitment. Andrew Cuomo, the only governor in America who can pull off a tracksuit, has signed an executive order allowing New York couples to get their marriage licenses online. And he's authorized clerks to perform wedding ceremonies over video. Now look, if you ask me, I don't think any one of us should be making any big life decisions during quarantine, okay? No one. Your concept of love is totally skewed right now. You can trust me on this. I spent most of last week in a relationship with a bottle of Purell. I mean, think about it. You're locked up with one person for so long, you're probably gonna forget other people exist. Yeah, you'll be like, you're the best guy in the world. Let's get married. And then you're going to take one walk and you'll be like, what have I done? Basically, any marriage during quarantine should have the same store policy as Best Buy. If I'm not happy with the product after 3 months, I can return it or at least make an exchange. Thanks to coronavirus, we now do everything at home, right? We're working out at home. We're holding office meetings from home. You're using the bathroom at home. For years, we've just been going to Wendy's, right? It's just me. And it turns out you can even have an affair at home.
It's the whoopsie that's making world headlines. 41-year-old Spanish news anchor Alfonso Merlos was hosting a live show from his home when a naked woman walked right behind him.
Oh, wait, but that's his wife, his girlfriend, right?
No, the tea is hot, honey. You ready?
Uh-huh.
Viewers were quick to point out that not only is not his girlfriend, it was a colleague.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Goddamn. I need to start watching news from Spain. I mean, here it's all boring stuff about trade wars and climate change. Over there, it's like a telenovela. Got naked women just walking in the background? I bet next week this guy gets amnesia and then is replaced by his long-lost twin brother. Breaking news. I don't know who I am, but I know that I love you. But yo, on the real though, this is such an amateur mistake. Everyone by now, everyone should know that you've got to be aware of your background when you're working from home, okay? The only thing people should see behind you is some books you've never read and a couple of trophies you won for coming in last place in 2 marathons. And if you get busted cheating like this on live TV, there is nothing you can do. Your best option is to channel Donald Trump and just try and blame the media. Baby, you know you can't trust the press. There was no naked woman in the background. Read the transcript, baby. Fake nudes. Thanks to coronavirus, we're learning that neighbors don't just have to be friends, they can also be our friends with benefits.
Jeremy Cohen was sitting at home alone when he looked out of his window and saw his next-door neighbor dancing. He had never met her before, but it was love at first sight. So he went above and beyond, pulled out his drone and flew it over to her to ask her out on a date.
Michele Del Pao's first set eyes on Paola Agnelli from his balcony. Michele managed to track Paola down on Instagram and struck up a conversation. The couple hasn't stopped talking since. Now they spend their days dreaming about what they'll do when they finally meet.
I kiss her for 1 hour.
I kiss you for 2 hours.
Oh, stop it, you two. Get a room. But don't. Social distancing. You know, it's amazing how this pandemic has warped our perspective. Because if you think about it, before coronavirus, if a guy was staring at his neighbor through binoculars and then tracking her with a drone, it would not be romantic. It would be the first half hour of a Dateline episode. But I guess this is kind of sweet. You know, the only big problem with dating your neighbor is that neither of them can ghost each other. I know you're home. I can see you, Daniela. Answer the phone.